your children struggling with schoolwork? Maybe they've always been a good student, but this year they just seem to be having a harder time of it. You should consider that maybe it's their eyes. Here to talk about the importance of eye exams is Dr. Safner of Visionworks. Doc, this is really an interesting subject because I think a lot of kids don't even know that they have a vision problem. What should be the baseline for an exam?
You know, that's so true, Pat. Baseline for a child should be age 4. Usually at that point, the child's verbal, knows some letters and numbers, and we can really assess what the vision need is at that point. Prior to that, the pediatric ophthalmologist, routine screenings will pick up any issues, but getting them in for a routine baseline at age 4 is probably the key.
Well, so, I remember as a kid that there were kids who sat in the back who didn't do so well. All of a sudden, the nun moved them up to the first row, and they were excellent students. And
Right.
Is that something that's typical?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that. That was me. In second grade, I was failing second grade, and it was through the second time through second grade that one of my teachers, actually it was a nun, said maybe we should have Florian's eyes examined. And I was failing. I didn't know that. And that's one of the issues, is that kids don't know if they can't see. So it's really important to have a baseline eye exam.
Well, you brought along some glasses, and I take note particularly of the ones that are in the back row here, because these are really for sports activities, and I think that's important.
This is really cool because when I was a child playing sports, if you wore glasses, you wore your glasses. But in this situation, this is called a recreational spec, rec specs, and it has a band. It's safety eyewear. We put the child's prescription in here, and they're good to go. A lot of sports injuries, ocular injuries, happen during sports, so this is a really great way if your child needs a correction to protect their vision and give them optimum performance.
So tell us a little bit about the exam itself, because I think maybe a young child might be real concerned and scared about that.
Sure. The eye exam, seeing any doctor, can be intimidating for a child, even for adults. But when I see a child, depending upon their age, I'll have them sit in mom and dad's lap, one or the other, and say, hey, it's good for the positioning of the child behind the instruments. And we have a lot of things to keep the child engaged. Letters, numbers, we have some fun charts, little toys that we use. The most important thing is that we can get an objective view of the children's eyes, not only to test their vision. Even if the child's not verbal, we can still tell if they need glasses through some of the diagnostic techniques that we do.
And what makes Visionworks different?
Well, I think what makes us different is our promise. We have the most frames. We have over 2,000 frames in our locations. We feel we have the best people, talented, great people willing to help, and we have the best prices too. Value-based, we have a lot of great eyewear, and we have doctors on site, and we also have in-store laboratories to help produce your eyewear.
Now we want our kids to be able to see clearly so
sure
that they can learn well.
Absolutely.
Doctor, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
So for more on eye health and also Visionworks, you can go to cbsphilly.com and click on the Talk Philly. Now here's your forecast.